Check it out. We're back. I somehow convinced Louisa to record with me more often, just because I was looking at the stats, and we just don't do this enough. We enjoy doing it, but it takes it. We try to cram all of our desired themes into each podcast. So we're going to kick around doing a movie for one, and just conversation around it, and then the recipe and the dailies maybe separate. We'll play around with it until we figure out how we can get the most bang for the buck with output. Oh, this is Critique-Opolis. We're back. With me, as always, is the girl who never talks.
I am here. This is very true. Today is leap day.
And apparently, since I was born in 75, if I was born on this day, I'd only be 15-ish.
Mm-hmm. You'd definitely be, between 13 and 15, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was quick math in my head, and not terrible at it.
Good job.
So there was another Dailies that came out today, and I just thought it might be worthwhile for us to chat about at some point. Maybe I'll do that Profiteroles recipe towards the end of the show. You still got it up, right?
Yep.
All right. You can hand that over to me.
Okay.
So this is what we kick around when we find the news, when our newsletter comes out that we pull our info from. We kind of read through it independently to find the highlights and the headlines that we want to talk about. So I don't know what you're going to talk about. You don't know what I'm going to talk about.
That's correct.
But the first thing that jumped out at me for this new one that came out yesterday, remember how we were talking about how the markets in Hollywood versus Europe are flip-flopping?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How in Europe they're taking on more big budget blockbuster type movies, and finally Hollywood is going back to the middle market movies. It's a bit of a shame though that we're not seeing more of it in the theater. Well, I mean, they'll show up in the theaters depending, but the runs are considerably shorter. Yeah. I mean, used to I don't know if you remember this, but when I was a kid, if a movie came to the theater, it was there for a month.
Yeah, definitely. I know.
Or 6 weeks.
I can't believe. Yeah, no, I definitely remember that because movies come and go so quickly in the theaters, and it's just, unless they are huge, then they might stay for quite a while. But when I was little, all movies did that.
Yeah, you know what?
They didn't pull them out if they were doing bad. They didn't keep them. Anyway.
You know what? This is the other thing with release times. They're real hard to keep track of now because they're sequenced so close together. Mm-hmm. I didn't think Dune was coming out till later in the summer.
Nope,
it's coming out tomorrow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It is.
And it's just kind of how the mind works. You assign, you see a trailer and you know it's not going to come out for several months.
Yeah, and so you kind of put it out.
Yeah, if you transpose a letter in the month that it's coming out.
Yeah.
Was it March or May? It couldn't have been as early as May, so it's got to be in summer. And then I'm scrolling through Imagine's list this morning. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait, that tomorrow? That's March 1st. That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm, that's Friday.
So that's what I might spend my 2 o'clock doing.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was going to ask.
That's not really your flavor.
No, it's not. I've seen the preview twice, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'll go see it. I saw the first one. I liked it, but
no, I think if you're into that genre and those movies, then it will be very good.
Oh, apologies to everyone's listening. I didn't have the laptop here, so we couldn't give you the music intro. I know that you're hanging on every word, and
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, no music. I got the no music, but
I should send that to you so you have it.
Oh, on my laptop.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the list.
Okay.
All right, so that was my first bit. What else did you trip across? Because I went through a lot of the things that were in development,
Okay.
but what you picked
I mean,
up
I
on
have
that.
very brief commentary. I don't have a lot of details
Does
with
that have
my
anything to do
beginning.
with Jake Gyllenhaal and Roadhouse?
Do you mean that shirtless picture that was on our newsletter feed?
Don't tell me you didn't spend all the time that we were supposed to be taking notes just oogling that.
I do love that picture. However, I wish he was sitting up straighter because he looks like he's slouching.
Yeah, and he's got rolls.
Yeah, and he's probably
You
supposed
can't
to
see
have
the
like
six
8.
pack. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll have an 8-pack.
Because is it a wrestling movie or something?
No, Roadhouse
know.
was originally with Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott, and this is the
Oh,
remake of that.
no way. Okay, I didn't read that very
Yeah,
well.
he was a bouncer.
Got it.
And
Got
now
it.
he's I think he's like an ex-Ultimate Fighter, and he gets recruited to be a bouncer at a bar. And in the first one, he was supposed to be like a world-renowned bouncer, like that's a thing. But, yeah, and so he's got to teach the crew how to bounce guys.
Yeah, Louisa loves Jake Gyllenhaal, so she did look at that picture.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't in my notes to discuss. But thank you for bringing that up.
Sure wasn't.
No, I just thought that they have this bit about about the shakeup at Disney. Someone new is taking over. I feel like that happens all the time.
This was like, you know how I've told you, one of my favorite movies is The Player. Mm-hmm. It's a Robert Altman movie, and the opening sequence, it starts out on the lot of a big studio, and I think they use Paramount, but they renamed the studio for the effect of the movie. Mm-hmm. And most of it is just a big long tracking shot going all over the studio grounds and the studio offices, listening to people gossiping and talking about who's coming in, who's getting hired, who's getting fired, before these people are hired or fired. And it kind of puts a spotlight on how so much of Hollywood is a rumor mill, and executives come and go all the time. But, I saw that movie when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And then when you get out in the working world, you find out it's not just Hollywood.
It's everywhere.
It's every place.
Yeah.
It's all rumor driven. It's just that industry is so, it's fun. Mm-hmm. Like nobody's talking about that at the metal fastenings company, who's coming, who's going. I mean, just inside those little circles, but everybody goes to movies. Everybody loves entertainment. So the industry,
it's very big.
Yeah. So the spotlight around those executives is a little more interesting. But I think the guy who's leaving, it's not Iger.
No, it's these are the presidents of Walt Disney Picture Studios.
It's of the studio.
So it's not the whole, like, what do you call it, franchise or
the whole company.
The whole company.
It's that sector of it.
It's not the CEO. That's what I'm looking for.
The guy who's leaving, though, I think he'd been there for like 15 years.
Yeah, he's been there for a really long time. Actually, I did look at the math on that, or did think about it briefly. Math is not my strong suit.
So he's been there since 2010-ish, or 2008 or something.
Or before that, because it says that Disney raked in $7 billion globally with under his leadership, with the hits like The Lion King. Oh, haha, I'm old. The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, not My Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, the live remake new ones.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. This is what I love about, like, we do a movie podcast, and we're like, we'll make no bones about it. We don't know everything that's happening in Hollywood. Like, The Lion King was out. The version I remember was the original one. It was like what,
the early 90s, yeah.
Early 90s.
I mean, that's what they call. I always forget when I'm talking about it.
We don't have kids. We don't know about that stuff. Isn't marketed to us, but
there's some term for the years of those movies, though. Have we talked about this before?
No.
Because being a big Disney fan, which I am, but there was a time when I don't remember what they call them. It's not like an epic time for Disney movies, but there's some big. Like the best animated Disney movies came out, and these 3
Oh, yeah,
years it
'cause
was
there was a
the
long
Little
stint. There was a
yeah,
Little
there was a whole
Mermaid,
the Beauty
there
and
was
the Beast,
Aladdin.
Aladdin, The Lion King, and it was
Lion King.
like the
Yeah,
best.
they made a ton of money those
Yeah.
years, but it was like late 80s through like mid 90s.
Yep, that's it. I always forget what they're called. I should really commit that to memory. But anyway, yeah. So tangent, but that does crack me up.
Who did he get replaced by? Somebody at Fox? And you have the laptop.
I do, and I should be reading better. 20th
20th Century.
century. Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
Greenbaum, David Greenbaum.
Yeah, he helmed, I'm going to put you on the spot again here. He helmed 20th Century for what releases, does it say there? Because
It doesn't have specifics, but it does say that the person who's leaving, Mr. Bailey,
Yeah.
I didn't catch his first name at the moment, but he will still have a hand in some things.
Yeah, I think it said he's gonna go back to producing some features. Yeah.
Yes, he will remain a producer and I'm not familiar with these Tron Ares, among other projects. What is that, like a superhero? I don't really know. Sorry, but yeah. So kind of interesting.
If we had a bigger audience, I'm sure there'd be people who'd be screaming into their iPhones right now.
Yes.
But,
go ahead. What was your next movie thing?
I was. I like Al Pacino, and apparently he's teaming up with Jessica Chastain for another Shakespeare stage thing.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, Lear Rex.
I've never heard of that.
It's an adaptation of King Lear.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
But apparently he passes over the daughter who really loves him. He's getting older and he has to subdivide his land up through his daughters. And the one the youngest one, I think, is the one who loves him the most and is the most devoted to him. He just kind of like blows her off and gives it to the other two who are like complete bitches and exile him to Moldor or so, I don't know, out to the middle of nowhere in his old age. And he has to reconcile this decision in his old age. And I got to, this is not something I would see. I mean, well, it's a stage thing, but apparently Al Pacino's big into Shakespeare. And
I had no idea.
Yeah, and he's been working on this for like a decade.
I didn't click the read more. This is all very interesting.
Yeah, but his Jessica Chastain is going to be part of it. You see this a lot with, and I know there's only so many projects that go around, but it seems like for as much as I like Al Pacino, he is getting up there.
He really is. He really is.
The photo they used on Deadline was of him like 20 years ago.
I was going to say, I looked at that same photo and I was like, that is not, no.
And, it's funny because it's such a image-driven industry, but
he has his name.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Al Pacino.
I mean, that's how people remember him, is from like 20, 30 years ago. If you see him now, you're like, ugh.
Oh, all people age, by the way.
Yeah, it's such a funny way that Hollywood deals with it. You know what I'm going to talk about now.
What's coming?
Just the obsession, Hollywood's obsession.
Yes, I know now.
With plastic surgery, we just came across images of what's your boyfriend, Bradley Cooper, had his blefs done, and he looks like
what does that mean?
I don't know. It's just something. It's something on your face.
Because I tried to figure it. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
It's something on your face, but like they clownified him. And like he's like his cheekbones are really. He looks kind of like the pictures I saw. He looks like the Joker.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And I can't highlight any leading men who look really good in their old age, and and I know for a fact they have not had work done. I don't
George
know.
Clooney.
He has not had anything done.
I'm sure no. Actually, I can't say that because I can't say that. But no, I don't. I mean, he doesn't look like it.
Like just when laugh lines and crow's feet come in, that shows that's a distinguisher of character. I'm like, you don't hold. Bill Burr said it best, when he was talking about, he had a special, one of his earlier ones where he was just talking about how there's nothing wrong with being 50 and looking 50.
No,
it's
that's
bad for the ladies.
A normal part of life, I think. Right?
Women, yeah, well, I think so, but like there are these, especially women, they go out and they get all this shit shot to their face, and they just look weird.
They do, and they don't,
weird.
and I don't.
I think his joke was, there's nothing wrong with being 50 and looking 50. What would you rather be, 50 and look 50, or be 50 and look like a 28-year-old lizard?
I would absolutely not want to look like a 28-year-old lizard. I mean, I wouldn't be a fan of it.
That bummed you out with Bradley, didn't it?
Of course it did.
Yeah.
Of course it did, because it's like they were saying, everyone in Hollywood does it. And they like really emphasized everyone, and he's totally right. Everyone does do it in Hollywood, and that's so.
It's a bummer because
it's disappointing because we look up to these people. Everybody knows who Bradley Cooper is, for example. And you look up I don't know. I guess I should pick a woman because I'm a woman, but you know what I mean? It's disappointing to me.
It becomes so obvious when they do this crap to themselves because I remember when I saw an Inside the Actor Studio where he was in the class, and he was one of the students who asked a question of Robert De Niro. Oh, this is before he had any work. This is way back when he was a young guy.
Oh my gosh!
I'll have to show this to you. And
way before what's that movie?
Which movie?
The one they're in together. The Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh yeah, long before that. And he's a good-looking kid, and as a 20 and a 30-something, a 40-something, he's a good-looking guy. Mm-hmm. And then he has these cheekbones. It looks like somebody put fish hooks into his face and pulled his cheeks up.
Ew, gross! And that's what they all look like.
Yeah, and you can see the gum line on his upper jaw, and it's unsettling.
Go ahead.
I just don't see why. I'm just not convinced that once you have that many projects under your belt and you have some cachet, you can't have the. I want to say this right, like once you have some cachet, I would think you'd be able to say if somebody, agent or some manager comes in, hey, if you want, we can get you an appointment with so-and-so doctor to get your... I was like, fuck all that. I'm not doing that to my face. Mm-mm. This is who I am. If, you're not going to jerk with my face. I mean, if these guys... And I know actors are not known for being, really... I mean, they're actors. They're not necessarily great business people, but you just have to have a common sense. Invest your money, save a chunk of it, put away some for a rainy day, invest in some things that you can have another revenue stream, another source of income. And after, you can't keep doing that to your face.
No, and that's the thing is, once you do one...
they can't... They never go in. It's not like you go in to get the bumper on your car resurfaced. You go in, if you're in an accident...
Yeah.
You go in and you have the whole thing.
And you get a whole new vehicle.
Yeah, you go in and they work on your chin. But you know what I can do for your eyelids? You know what I can do for your forehead? And then you end up looking like that art heiress from Germany with her head looks like a
cat
potato.
Lady.
Yeah, the cat lady. Her head looks like a fucked up potato.
And then you look like a before and after or during picture, and they don't even look anywhere close to what they used to look like. It's a completely different person.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of these, there's this, oh God, I wish you don't have Instagram, but there was this, I just saw it maybe yesterday, this, and again, I don't know if it's AI or if it's modified images on Instagram, but there's this lady who has had an obscene amount of work done on her face, and it looks like there are two rocks in her. I think these are blefs right here.
Okay.
And then it's almost like on her jawline, it protrudes down, so it looks like a rounded out X has been put inside her skin around her mouth.
Oh gosh, this is so gross.
Yeah, and her lips are, and her lips are, they way overdid her lips. Mm-hmm. And she's talking to the camera about how much hate she gets on these comments.
Wow.
Like, you're asking for you're asking for it.
Yeah.
If you're going to put yourself on social media like that, you don't have to read them.
Nope.
But
what do you think people are going to say in this situation?
Expecting that people aren't going to be shocked by that. You can't, okay, you can be shocked and keep it to yourself, but get real. Mm-hmm. Some people will. A lot of people won't. Mm-hmm. That's just that's human nature. Call them whatever names you want in the book, that they're not good people, racist, whatever. People are going to say shitty things. But she was I have no doubt she was a beautiful woman before she had this done. And she screwed up her face on purpose. And
paid lots and lots and lots and lots of money.
You know that what a sign of mental illness that is when you get that
that's
done. You're
true.
just never going to
That's
be happy. That's the other sad
right.
part
That's
of
another. That's another part of it. It is sad. It's really sad. And they need help. These people.
And they won't stop.
No, that's right. Once you,
and I didn't think that. I heard about it on Your Mom's House with Tom Segura. And I thought he was joking. I had to look it up. Oh man, Brad. What are you doing, man?
And you know what? While we're talking about it, another one that I'm really disappointed in and sad is Meg Ryan. Remember those pictures?
Oh my God, she would
it's so. She was so cute, and all those great movies that she made. A lot of romantic comedies. They were all great, and they're movies that people watch over and over and over.
She's not even
them
recognizable
to friends and family, and then she's not even recognizable. And then she went and she did some new romantic comedy movie, and there were ads for it or posters or something, and I was like, "Who is that?"
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
You do.
With
Billy Crystal.
No. She's in the airport for a while with. Is it David Duchovny?
Actually, yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly. I can't believe I just said Billy Crystal. That's not what I meant. But no, that's right. And I was
it looked good, but the whole time you're distracted. Why does Meg Ryan's face look so screwed up?
Yeah, and it breaks my. I mean, I know. It's not like I know these people, but it just breaks my heart. She just looks like
she's a piece of your past.
She's a piece of your, there you go.
Yeah, she's a piece of your life growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'd be okay with them aging,
like a normal person does.
Yeah, you can almost get behind it because they transition into more age appropriate roles.
Yeah,
but.
And you think, this person is growing up. I'm growing or getting older, and I'm getting older too. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then they go and
they try to turn the clock back, and I know there's good surgeons out there, but they never. You can't hit the pause button, and
no.
I think that's a big problem with Hollywood is they just haven't. And it's some of these actors, a lot of actors, especially who are developing their career, you can make a lot of money.
You can make a lot of money, and a lot of money really fast. And the other part of it that's really sad to me too is once you do it, you can't go back. So I'll use the example of Meg Ryan again. She was beautiful before. She looked great. There was nothing.
She could have aged gracefully.
She could have aged gracefully. There was nothing wrong with her before. There's nothing wrong with her, in quotes, now. But then she went and she had this work done, and she's not going to stop. She's going to keep going, and she already with one or two looks.
They made her look Asian.
Awful. It's just awful. Also, what if that was your mom or your aunt or something? I thought about that, and I thought, what if someone really close
I'd shame
to
them
me,
for sure.
The next time I saw somebody, they'd be like, what happened to your face?
You look weird.
You look weird. And you'd be
such-
like, oh, no, it's still me. Oh, no,
Like,
it's
no.
not really.
Well, it's you, but it's like, you remember that scene in The Exorcist? Like when the devil took over that kid? That's what's happening to you. Like, you're trying to look better and you look worse. You look weird. You look unstable. Like, it's the fact that you would even do that, I've kind of lost respect for you. You know me, I got the mouth, and I'm not going to, like, the guns are going to come out. I'm going to let you know what a stupid decision that was.
Mm. And also, P.S., by the way, how much did you pay for that? Where did that money come from?
You know what? I don't have a problem with it when it's like people who've been in an accident.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Like,
it's a little different.
If you've been burned, or like especially people who've been burned, you know, or they lose part of their ear.
Or in some horrific accident.
It's amazing what they can do.
Yes.
But it's like when you try to apply those talents to something
where you don't need to.
where it's not necessary. You know what? It's like a Salvador Dali painting. Like, that's what these people do to themselves. Like, slowly, there is I wish I could remember his name. It's going to bug me that I don't. But there is a artist who drew cats. He loved drawing cats. But he was slowly going, he was suffering from schizophrenia. And he wasn't full-blown schizophrenic when he started drawing these cats. But as you look at his body of work, as schizophrenia takes over, these cats become crazier. Their fur begins to pastelify and burst into flames, and they become more like the Cheshire Cat.
This sounds familiar.
I think I showed it to you a long time ago. And I can't remember Fadi or Ferry. I can't remember the guy's name. But as he becomes
so sad.
That's kind of like what that is what I think of when I see these people who
that's a really good
have all this junk shot into their face. And it's because there's something broken on the inside. They haven't been in an accident. They haven't been burned or fallen off a building or hit by a car or something. But that something equivalent to that has happened in their mind. They're like, I'm not going to be accepted unless I make this look. I change this back or try to change it back, which is, look, I'm no supermodel, but like I look at myself in the mirror and I'm doing okay for 48. I think that's where you got to count your lucky stars, because you can't wrap your head around like how imbalanced you have to be to like think that.
Agreed.
If I'll be more. This will give me an edge in the next audition. Come on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Come on. Especially now, there's a big push in media and Hollywood to not rely on the studios so much as going out and making your own work. And especially if you're a Bradley Cooper, you can have your own thing made.
I know.
You can just like put up a chunk of money, find your own finance, go to your agent, be like, hey.
Well, he's an actor and a director and a producer. I mean, he's done all these things now.
It's like you can call your team together and be like, all right, we got to get $20 million together. Call your people. Here's the script. See who we can chop it to, and let's start going. But I mean, you should be beyond the approval process. I don't know why they're doing it. Okay, look, I've talked about. I'm not done talking about plastic surgery. You know who else screwed their career up with this? Jennifer Grey, Dirty Dancing, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She didn't like that
her
hawker.
nose.
Yeah, she didn't like that hawker she had, but like it was the most endearing
thing
quality.
about her.
Oh
yeah.
my God! I don't know any guy in my high school who didn't think she was a dime. And then when she got that nose changed, nobody recognized her on auditions. Like she did some other work, but it was straight to DVD stuff. And she was really starting to command bigger paychecks. And as soon as she has that done, she'd go into auditions, and they'd be like, "Any relation to the real Jennifer Grey?"
That's so sad and embarrassing. Yeah, that's really. I am that person.
Yeah, I don't think you are. No, really, I am. So
Good example, or good another person, yeah.
Hollywood, stop shooting shit into your face.
Also, you could give that money to me if you know.
Yeah. Michael Fassbender is going to be in The Department. Apparently, this was a French series. It was called, I think, The Bureau, but it has to do with somebody who's been like a spy who's been on a 6-year assignment and comes back in.
Oh, okay.
To the CIA, and like he struggles to reconcile his cover identity with his real identity. So I think it's going to be like a spy show, but it's going to deal with the emotional and the intellectual ramifications of pretending to be someone you're not for years. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. What else did you have? I took 2 spots there.
That's okay. In development, let's see. Oh, I just wrote down this bit about Eugene Levy joining the cast of Only Murders in the Building. I don't watch that show. I really don't know anything about that show.
Is that the one with Steve Martin?
But I know. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I watched 2 episodes.
Have you? And how was it? I was going to ask.
I've only watched 2 episodes
Okay.
just because it was on. What's it on? It's on like Peacock
Hulu or something?
Yeah, it's not something I have access to.
Me either.
So I didn't watch it. But it's Martin Short and Steve Martin. It's funny.
And it's very interesting. It's intriguing to me because, and I listened to an interview with Selena Gomez about how it was interesting that it was, who would you say, Steve Martin and Martin Short, 2 old guys, if you will, and then Selena Gomez, who's who's much younger than they are, and how it all works very well together. And I think I'm sure it's won awards and things like that. But anyway,
that's a neat dynamic. Is 2 older people.
I think so too.
Working with a young person, because a young person has access to, and I'm sorry, it might sound like a trope, but like they understand technology and how the social landscape works with younger people now, and the older people. And again, I can't necessarily apply it to this show, but just in general, old people pride themselves on a work ethic and the value that brings throughout your life. And I'm not taking a shot at young people. I do that on the regular anyway, but I'm not doing it in this moment. And just common sense wisdom.
Yeah, and
I think that comes with age. It's not to impugn younger people, but like older people. You've seen it happen a zillion times where instead of like dancing around whether or not you should call this guy back or send him a letter or have a message relayed through your friends, just go up to him and talk to him in person. Just like he's coming off the elevator, go talk to him right now. Say, hey, what's going on with you? And young people are horrified by that. Like, horrified, but what?
Yeah.
Well, what if he thinks? What if he does? Is it like the news cycle in young people's brains moves on from thing to thing to thing super fast? So like, who gives a shit? Just do. So you don't have to obsess about what. And I'm just using dating as an example, but I think the dynamic of old and young people together is like I could watch that forever.
Yeah, I think it would be really interesting. And again, I've not seen it before, but I think that if I'm correct, in her interview, they said originally it wasn't supposed to be 2 older people and a younger lady. And then whatever it was for, or whatever the original plan, if you will, was, somebody suggested that they change it to what it is now. And anyway, obviously, everyone thinks it really works, and it must. Anyway, I just thought it was an interesting addition, because Eugene Levy's pretty big in a lot of TV and movies, and he's coming to his own. His dad's very famous, all this kind of stuff. Anyway,
No, Eugene Levy is the dad.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you. So
you're thinking of David.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Eugene, the dad, is the one who's going to be in this.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 3 old guys and a younger person.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Yes.
I'm like, who the hell's his dad?
No, yeah, right.
Did you ever
that
see?
hasn't happened yet.
Did you ever see Splash? When he played Professor Kornbluth?
Is that the mermaid
Oh
movie?
my God!
I actually watched it a while ago because I'd never seen it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I think I told you I started getting into watching reaction, like full movie reactions. I love those, just, especially like younger people seeing movies that I grew up with and just being astounded at certain scenes. Like Eugene, he just had huge hair in the '80s.
Yeah.
And he was just loud and obnoxious in this character. And I must have seen Splash like 8-10 times when my parents were getting divorced because my mother had HBO. And it was always on. And he's just this crazy, eccentric, like, nut in that movie. I love him as a character. He's like, in Schitt's Creek, he's kind of more toned down and normalized, but he plays animated so well. What else you got?
So thank you for pointing out that was the dad and not his son, because I definitely
David was the
more
character,
notes
but
about
I can't
that.
remember his.
But yeah, I think I think that's an even better addition now, addition. But I don't watch that show, so I don't know anything about it, but I just think that's good. Also, yay for that show being in its 4th season. That's exciting.
I'll tell you what is in its zillionth season is The Young and the Restless, which has been renewed for another 4 seasons. And I don't watch soap operas, but that soap opera was on when I was barely able to walk, and before that soap opera has been on for a billion years.
Yeah, a billion. Yeah. Wow.
And I don't know who still watches soap operas, but the fact that it's 2024 and they got renewed to 2028, that was on in the 70s.
That's insane. And now it's like 2024.
Okay. Oh, you're going to lose your juice here in a minute.
Yeah, you do your recipe.
Yeah.
So
I talked about Dune Part 2, and then just FYI, for those of you who aren't paying attention to your bill, your Netflix prices are going to be shooting up.
That was another commentary that I had.
Yep. So I don't know what they're going up to, but they're going up. So be advised. I'm going to give you my...
No. Go down to where the Google icon is at the bottom of the screen and you got it. It's there. It's just another...
So we're going to share with you folks at some point, not this one, but next go.
This is so cool.
The next way. If you ever look at recipes online and they give you a freaking bibliography of their life before they actually get to the, like, my grandmother used to make this in the old country. If you don't want to read all that crap, we have a hack for you. Just in front of the HTTP on the blog that you're looking at for a recipe, just type cooked.wiki / in front of the HTTPS, and that's COOKED.wiki / and it'll append. It'll give you another page with just the recipe, so you don't have to go through all that crap again. So you don't have to search through the page to find what you want. This recipe, I'm going to do a shameless plug here for Hey Honey. If you want to see where I'm going in the future, what do I have coming up? Grand Rapids this weekend, if you're paying attention to Gun Show out there. Go to Instagram at JAY Hey Honey, or you can visit me on the website at Hey Honey, and that's HEY honey.biz, to order whatever you like. This recipe, cheesy phyllo rolls. They're like cheesy phyllo profiteroles that you dip in honey. So you're going to preheat to 350 degrees. What you're going to need to start, 6 ounces of salted butter, 1 pound of phyllo dough thawed at room temperature, 8 ounces of feta, 8 ounces of shredded mozzarella, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 teaspoon of finely chopped mint, a teaspoon of dried and crushed oregano, and pepper. So you're going to preheat to 350, line 2 baking trays with parchment paper, set aside, make the cheese filling by combining all of the filling ingredients together in a bowl, mix until it's all incorporated. And then when you assemble the roll, you're going to take 1 sheet of phyllo, drizzle some melted butter over the top, fold it in half lengthwise, place a tablespoon of the cheese filling at the bottom of the pastry, keep it centered, fold over both sides, right and left long sides of the phyllo dough over the filling, drizzle with more melted butter, roll the pastry all the way up, place the place it on a baking tray, and you keep this going until all of the phyllo and the cheese filling are finished. You're going to brush the top of them with melted butter and pierce using a fork so that the steam escapes while it's baking. Otherwise, they'll explode or split. Bake at the center rack of a preheated oven until golden brown for about 35 to 40 minutes, and that's it. The honey component, you're going to dip these in. You can just use straight clover or wildflower, or if you want to spice it up a little bit, the hot pepper would work really well with this. If you want to add some heat to it. That's it. That's all I got. Anything from you? Anything else?
No, I think that's it. It was fun chatting about how I never wanted to do any plastic surgery. I'm not going to be seeing Dune 2 tomorrow.
Nope.
And I don't pay for my Netflix, so there's that.
Thanks for rubbing that in my face.
No problem.
I don't either, really. All right, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a nap.
Okay.
We're going to pick this up later. Thanks for tuning in. Hugs and kisses. Toodaloos.
Bye.